Hello my friends, glad you're here today. This is going to be part 2 of my drugstore makeup guide series. So this is where we really break down each element of makeup and we talk about the best options from the drugstore in each category. You might say, well, how is this different from your Emily Awards videos? For those, I really try to boil it down to just one favorite per category, and we talk about high-end and drugstore and just everything. But with these, I feel like I can go into more detail on the drugstore products, maybe give a few different options depending on preference, and just make it a little bit more detailed and hopefully more helpful for those of you who go into the drugstore and you're thinking, I'm kind of overwhelmed by all the options. So in our first video, if you didn't see that yet, that talked about primers, foundations, concealers, and powders. And we had a lot of different things to discuss there, like a whole range of different recommended foundations depending on what you like and what your skin's like. So hopefully that video was helpful to you. And now we're going to talk about the bronzers, blushes, and highlighters and every format of those. So first off, let's talk about like the cream and liquid side of bronzer in the drugstore. There are some really good options out there. The first one, as far as a liquid goes, is this Hard Candy Face Off line. This is so good. This is going to come up again as I continue to talk about these products, but we're talking about a doe foot applicator liquid product, and let me tell you, it's 10 times less messy than what Charlotte Tilbury's putting out. You just dot it on, you can dot it all over your face, it's easy to blend, it's not going to set too quick. The shade I'm holding here is Sweet Tea, and I feel like it's absolutely perfect for me. I also have a shade that's a little bit darker than that, well, quite a bit darker. The darker one is called Chocolate Drip, so consider your own skin tone as far as what you think you need, but it is beautiful on the skin. They call it a luminous gel bronzer. Personally, I don't find it to be all that glowy, but it's just a beautiful look on the skin. Easy to work with, great pigmentation, highly recommend that line. And then if you prefer like a cream stick, these from Wet n Wild, they're a little harder to come by in stores around me. I just don't find them out in person all that much, but you can find them still on Ulta's website. And they're these little Mega Glow makeup sticks. So you can find them for contour, for blush, for highlighter. And this contour stick in Where's Walnut, if you've seen me use the Persona sticks and you're like, yeah, I don't feel like buying a Persona stick, and you want something similar to that, Where's Walnut is great. It blends in easily. I'm wearing that today as my contour. It almost has a bit of a cream to powder texture without looking dry. Like it just blends in super easily. I like to use a dense brush, by the way, with these. A Sephora 56 or comparable brush is really good for these cream and liquids. But anyway, Where's Walnut is a personal favorite, and you can just draw this on around your forehead, around your cheekbones, blends in with ease, gives you all the color you need. Again, I'll have everything linked down below in the description box if you're having trouble finding these items. Now for powder bronzers, I think the best matte powder bronzer in the drugstore is Hard Candy Instant Summer. Again, if you don't have Hard Candy in your Walmart store, I will link it below. But this is such a beautiful, very high-end feeling texture. I wear the shade Tan, and there are a whole range of options color-wise, but it feels so soft and smooth, and it just looks gorgeous on the skin. Really easy to blend, never muddy. Another option that I do like is the Rimmel Natural Bronzer, if you find that a bit more easy to find. Those are great too, and really cheap, just a few dollars. I just feel like the texture of this one is a bit more luxe, a bit more like high-end comparable, truly. So definitely my top pick for a great basic matte powder bronzer. But if you like a little bit of a glow, sometimes we want some luminosity with the bronzer, check out the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It. I have one here in the shade Deep, and oftentimes, like let's say I went in first with the Face Off product, or I went in first with the Wet n Wild stick, and then I just want to like finish my look off a bit more, have some more glow like I did today. I used this stick first, and then I went in with this product, and see the glow that it has. It's not too harsh. It's really like a soft satiny finish, but I'll kind of go over things and add that to my look, and I feel like it's kind of smooths it out, gives it a really pretty finish on the skin. And this tone I think is kind of unique because it's cooler. A cooler tone bronzer with a little bit of sheen. This is not the type of shade you're going to be coming across left and right, especially in the drugstore, but you get a huge pan of product. I don't know when I'll ever use that up, but I do use it frequently, and I really, really like it. So hopefully that gives you quite a few different options for bronzers. Now for blush, let's talk about the liquids, the best blush options. The Face Off line, again, from Hard Candy. The shades I would direct you toward are the ones called Born Yesterday, which is a nice cool pink. It is glowy and it's beautiful. And then if you like a little bit deeper color, a bit more of that classic in from the cold rosy cheek look, check check out Who Is She? Okay, both of these are stunning. And there is a certain one, I think it's called Pop Star. I gave it to my girls because it's so glittery. I mean, it's fun for them to play with, but it's just not really my vibe on my cheeks. But I'm giving you some swatches here so you can see these two. And again, with the doe foot applicator, application is so easy, never messy. Here's a look at both shades. They both have a gentle sheen to them. And this shade called Born Yesterday really is not comparable to hardly any other liquid blushes I have. That cool pink shade is so pretty, and then I love that rosy option. So really both are home runs for me. If you're looking for a great cream stick type of texture for your blush, look to the Wet n Wild line again. There are some great ones in there, but a real favorite for me also is this Neutrogena Hydrating Multi-Use Stick. Kind of an unusual product because it only comes in the one shade, which is called Temptation. But this is such a nice texture. It really does have a nice richness to it. It feels just as good on the lips as it does on the cheeks. It kind of gives you a little bit of a dewy freshness on the cheeks and then feels so balmy and nice on the lips. Sometimes things that are supposed to be double duty don't feel as good on the lips. They feel just really dry. So I love this tone. It's kind of like a warm rosy shade, a bit of a terracotta color. There's a lot of warmth. I think it would be cool if they put out a couple other tones for people who don't love the warmth as much. But this time of year especially, I think that looks so pretty on lips and cheeks. Again, if you're looking for a great blending tool, a Sephora 56 brush is so handy for these cream and liquid blushes and bronzers and highlighters too, honestly. But you can also use your fingers. Like, I think about how easy this is to tap in just with your fingertips. And now we're gonna move into the powder blushes. And you know one that comes to mind that is like a no fail, and it works for darn near every look, and it's one of the least expensive options. The Wet n Wild Color Icon line, and the shade is called Mellow Wine. This is truly like a no fail dusty rose blush. Let me put a little bit on. I'll add it to my look. It is so easy, so nice. Like, I can't think of a lot of circumstances where this is not an appropriate blush to wear. Just kind of works in with any eye look, not in a boldly peachy or light pink kind of color tone. Just kind of stepped up from neutral. And this is matte, by the way. The texture of it is very pigmented. This would have been a great blush to pull for also when I did that AI video and I was remaking the makeup and I had this look kind of on the side of the cheek and it really mimicked that shade. Love Mellow Wine, it's a can't miss. And if you're interested in a line of blushes that really goes there pigment-wise, a very bold color spread, and within that you can use those blushes lightly or you can build them up deeper. Like, we're talking somebody with a deep, rich skin tone could use that blush, see it on their skin, get a great color payoff, but also somebody with more fair skin could use it lightly and have a different color take from it. The L'Oreal Infallible line is honestly really good. I know these products are like a little bit pricier. I've criticized the bronzer before. I'm like, you can find cheaper bronzers at the drugstore. Well, you can find cheaper blushes at the drugstore compared to this line, but it is still really good. And when I branched out and tried the Daring Rosewood shade, I thought, ooh, I really like that. I'll have to link to the video below where this was tried on, but it's a beautiful kind of earthy shade and I love the way it shears out on the cheeks. I first got into this line with their pink shade. They have a coral, they have a berry color, so look into it if you're wanting matte, pure color blushes from the drugstore and you generally feel like things don't show up on you or last. These have great staying power. We need to also talk about, though, the CoverGirl Instant Cheekbones. The option in the drugstore that so often, like, I never hear anyone else rave about it. I've been raving about them for years, but they're such a special product. You get 2 tones of blush and a highlighter, and they were making these before highlighter was cool, and the highlighters are beautiful, flawless in these products, just so life-giving. I've been wearing the Sophisticated Sable one throughout this whole video. It gave me that kind of toasty neutral cheek, but then the highlighter there is so nice and just gently pearly. No troublesome texture going on in there, but I love this, and these blushes just have the most beautiful, like, kind of satin finish. So if you like a little more glow on the cheeks, I would look into this range. I also pulled out this one called Refined Rose. This definitely shows on my cheeks, but this gives you more that pinky look, and again, a beautiful highlight involved also. Please guys, get these. Let's keep these alive in the drugstore. They are a total gem, and they're under most people's radar. Finally, we must talk about highlighter. I've feel like the Hard Candy range needs to come out with a beautiful highlighter in this very same texture. Do they have one? Have I missed it somehow? But we're gonna actually skip right over to Wet n Wild here. This is, I think, one of the most beautiful, creamy highlighters you can find in the drugstore. And again, it's from this little range from Wet n Wild, these Mega Glow sticks. Can you see that, generally speaking, when a brand does the texture well, I'm enjoying their whole range, like all the face-off stuff from Hard Candy, all this stuff from Wet n Wild. It's very well done. And there's this highlighter stick called When the Nude Strikes. And before I might have said, well, I like Wet n Wild's Halo Glow. Wait, no, that's e.l.f. It's called Hello Halo. I might have chosen this as like a top liquid highlighter pick from the drugstore. It is really pretty, but this is just more foolproof. This is even easier to apply. Again, When the Nude Strikes, you're just gonna pick up some of that on your fingertip and then you can dab it right on the top of your cheek and on up if you want to. I've been kind of liking the highlighter placement directly under the eye, but it's super pretty. No flecks of any glitter or like sparkly bits in this. And it's just really easy to blend. All these sticks are from Wet n Wild. Another option is to just take a brush across it, dab it on your cheeks that way. And for me, sometimes I like it like a little finishing touch like I just did there. Maybe I've already got a highlighter on. Maybe I've already got my whole entire look together, but you just want that little something extra. And so you take that stick and you just press it right there on the top of the cheek. It's so nice. For a powder highlighter, Milani makes amazing powder highlighters. This should be a testament to how good the pigment is here because this is a mini that I continue to have. Strobe Light Instant Glow Powder Afterglow. The shade is so incredibly pigmented. It's smooth, it's very shimmery. It's a highly glowy highlighter. I think completely 100% comparable to high-end brands like Becca. It's soft, it's pigmented, it's not chunky. And Milani honestly was kind of on the edge for me with some of this other stuff too when I was thinking about matte powder blushes. I love their rose powder blushes. They also have like a baked highlighter that's really good. There's their baked blushes if you like a more luminous finish of blush. Luminoso is a classic. So Milani, generally speaking, I think is a good brand to look to, but my favorite, just the best thing that they do, I think, is this highlighter. As far as their face color products go, we know Milani eyeshadow primer is probably one of the best things they make, period. And then lastly, guys, I felt like I should mention an amazing combo product that really puts everything we've been talking about into its own little face disc. And I've talked about this many times before, but in case you're new to my videos, let's talk about it again. It's from Ulta, so it's their Ulta brand, and it's called Baked Sculpt and Glow. This shade palette is called Santorini Sun, and they do offer two other options too. But if you're looking for something that mimics the Hourglass feel, this is a great dupe for my Hourglass bronzer. A beautiful, highly shimmery highlighter. The pigment on the blush, so rosy and nice, all in one. They're beautiful on the skin. They kind of remind me of Laura Geller products as well. Laura Geller, like with the blush and the highlighter, she's really got it nailed on doing soft, pigmented, baked textures. And it's really just the same idea in here. Again, Santorini Sun is my favorite because you get this matte blush. You've got a little glow in the bronzer, you've got a lot of glow in the highlighter, but then they give you the matte blush that just is pure color, and somehow all those shades just work together so well. This can be a great little eyeshadow palette in a pinch too. And if you do not have access to an Ulta and you're wanting also a palette that's kind of like that, this has been around for a while, but they're still making it in Walmart. It's the Maybelline Master Contour palette, and I would recommend the medium to deep color option because then you get a blush that really shows on your skin. The blush is glowy, the highlight is glowy, and the contour is matte. I remember this coming up in a video where I was featuring like things that have been around a long time in Maybelline's line, like trying the things that were not so new. And this is really good. If you like a peachy glowy blush, I think you'll like that. So guys, I hope this video was helpful to you if you're trying to navigate the drugstore and come up with some of the best products. Let me know in the comments section if you've got any other favorites or just any takes on the things that I've mentioned that you'd like to share with everyone else. Let us know. And please give this video a thumbs up. Share it with anybody you have in your life who is trying to, you know, kind of revamp their makeup collection. Share the part 1 and this one as well. And after this, what will we be moving into? Maybe we could cover some skincare, some setting spray type things. I don't know. But thank you all so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see you again very soon. I love you. Bye.